jazz concert of our 2013 series year. We're pretty pumped tonight. We have a lot of help in the community to be who we are and do what we do. And I thank everyone who is a member here, who comes to concerts, that's brought us here to 2013. There are some membership things that if you might feel moved tonight to join in on membership of the Kerrytown Concert House. And tonight's concert is supported by a really great group of people that have banded together to make sure that we continue to do these wonderful concerts. It's called Dobbins, Friends of Jazz, and Kerrytown Concert House. FOJ for short. We have the Senja involved tonight. Lars, are you here?
Yeah.
I wanted to also say that the walls are full of a particularly wonderful woman who lives in our community, Karen Bodycomb. And take a few minutes after the show to browse and look, because it's really great work. Now I want Lars to just briefly tell you about Southeastern Michigan Jazz Association.
Good evening.
Helps us out.
I'm Lars Bjorn, and I'm very happy to be here to start the new year on the right foot. And Semja publishes his newsletter once a month in hard copy and online. So if you go to semja.org, you can take a look at it in digital form. If you want a hard copy, stop by the bar and pick up a free copy, as long as they last. And you might also want to buy a beer or some wine on the way out. Semja supports jazz education, and what better jazz education than what you're going to hear tonight. Tad Weed and the trio have been at it for a long time, and a lot of their students are here tonight, and we'll hear a lot about jazz education. So we're very happy to support these kinds of events. So enjoy the music.
Thank you, Larry.
Thank you all for coming. I don't know how many of these we've already done, but it's going on a few years now, I think, with the Jazz Master Series, and it means a lot to us because we like to combine Esther artists and students. And of course tonight, I mean, most of them really do come from this area, and that's what kind of throws me, kind of blows my mind. We have so many just in this area, so we don't really have to work that hard to find another person. We're going to open, like we always do, with a few pieces. We like to open with an Ellington piece that isn't heard that often. We have our Ellington Volume 1 CD. We're planning on about 2 or 3 of them. I think this is a piece called Isfahan. Did I tell you? Oh yeah, it's number 8. beyond reproach. I guess that's a word to use. And put your hands together for Johnny Lawrence.
So we sold out tonight, huh? You know, tonight is a special night for me. I feel honored that they asked me to go on and see the stage is full of talented players. Let's hear it for the band. Consider this a special occasion, so I brought out my special guitar. I haven't played this guitar in about 5 years and haven't taken it out on a performance in about 15, 20. Because it's a special guitar. Nothing happened to it. But I figured tonight is a special night, so we brought it out. Let's see. Where's that? So what are we doing first, guys?
That medley that goes on for an hour. What was that, Tim?
He can handle it.
You think I'm kidding? No, I think it was Joyce, right?
Okay.
You think Joyce?
Okay. You want to set it up for me and do it?
Sure. Tempo work.
gonna try to do a little talking here, but it looks like it's gonna be technical. We'll give us 1 second. Let's see. We gotta share the mic. Well, welcome, John.
Hey, how you doing?
We're doing great. Pleasure to have you here. Thanks for making it.
Glad to be here.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, first thing I want to ask, something I've never asked you before, which is, why did you start with music? What happened there?
Oh, man.
Near you.
Why did I start with music? I guess I'm from a musical family. My mom used to play trombone. My grandmother, actually my mother's sister used to play guitar. And my grandmother used to play guitar and ukulele. And my brother used to play guitar before I did, and when he put it down, I picked it up and I never put it down. That was around the age of 9. So I'm 57 now, so I've been playing a little part.
What kind of music attracted you in the beginning? You know, what got you passionate about playing? Because we all know no one plays like you do unless there was a real passion to play and to continue working on artistry and everything. What was that for you?
Okay. I guess it was after I learned my first 2 songs. The first song was Louie Louie. You guys know that song? I learned it, and after that, somebody asked me would I join the band. I learned 2 little songs, and from then on, we just stayed together throughout junior high and high school, and just kept, and so I guess the style of music that I grew up playing was more R&B, Motown, that kind of thing. Which is why one of the things that I've been working on is I've done a series of books, Motown, solo guitar,
Yeah.
Motown tunes.
Yeah, which is pretty exciting.
Yeah.
How long has it been out now?
Just put it out. Well, actually, one of them just came out last year.
Last year, okay.
And the rest of them are coming up following.
Okay. You're jumping ahead.
Of something I wanted to ask you also, and that is, I don't know if you know about John's educational background, but all the books that you put out, all the information that you provided for students. How did that start? How did that start out?
Well, I guess it started with I had an instructional videotape to teach people how to play guitar.
Okay.
And I sent it around. I sold it around this area myself, published it myself. And then after a while, I quit selling. I think everybody who wanted it had it. So I put it up for a number of years. Then I started thinking, just because it's not selling around here doesn't mean that it won't sell in other parts of the world. So I contacted Mel Bay Publications, which is one of the leading publications for instructional material. And I sent it to, I sent it to 3 different publishers. The first publisher turned me down with a rejection letter that said they don't do big band music. So that didn't hurt my feelings that bad because they didn't even listen to it. They didn't even look at it. Second person said it was Hal Leonard. They said they liked it, but they already had something like that. And then a few months passed, and I figured Mel Bay, if they didn't respond, then I guess it won't happen. But then about 3 months later, I get a call from the president of Mel Bay.
Wow.
Actually, I was giving a guitar lesson at the time he called. And I don't like to be interrupted when I'm giving lessons because I respect my students' time. So I asked my student's father, would he take a message for me? And he picked it up. I said, John, I think you might want to take this position. He says, the president of Mel Bay Publications. I said, yeah, I'll take that one. And he said, John, I like your DVD and I want to publish it. But we don't have any books that cover the subjects that you covered in your DVD the way you do it. So we want to offer you a 3-book deal. And I said, cool. Let's do this. To tell you how naive I was about it. I thought that somebody would look at my DVD, transcribe everything that I did, and I said, and put it in a book form, and all I had to do was sit back and collect royalties. And my attorney looked at it, at the contract, and said, Johnny, do you realize that they want you to write these books? And I said, oh, okay. Okay, I never wrote a book before, but I tried it, and you know what? I liked it. And I just kept on writing. I've written about 16 books now.
Wow.
And I've got DVDs to accompany the books, you know, CDs with me demonstrating everything. And so that's how that came about.
That's interesting. I got another question for you, Bill. Why do you like teaching?
Oh, wow. You know, I'll tell you the truth. When I was in high school, I was not a good student. I was not an A student. I was not a B student. I think I was one of those students that just skated by, you know.
You play guitar a lot and
Yeah,
practicing
right.
and working hard on your music.
But what was weird is they didn't have any place for me to play guitar in our school bands.
Oh, wow.
Because they had the symphony orchestra,
Sure.
they had the marching band, and
Yeah.
no guitars there.
No
you know,
guitars.
So, but anyway, so teaching was not in my plans. You know, you have goals for yourself. That was not it. And somebody took me up to meet Morris Lawrence at Washington Community College. And Morris heard me play. He liked the way I played. And he said, Johnny, just keep taking classes up here. Learn everything you can from me. And I think I went to that 2-year institution for about 10 years. I was a professional student. And I just kept coming to his classes, learning everything from music theory to music appreciation to all of the band classes to songwriting. And then after a while, Morris looked at me and said, Johnny, I think you've learned everything that I can show you.
Yeah.
And I think it's time for you to start teaching.
Wow.
And I said, no way, Morris.
Really?
I'm not ready. And then Morris explained to me that he thinks I'm a natural teacher. Some of the things that I do naturally, people really have to study and work hard, go to seminars and try to become better teachers, and I do it naturally. So he said, I think you should try it. And so I tried it, and I liked it. And I've been teaching there for 33 years now.
Wow.
Isn't that something? I have the same position at Washington Community College that Morris Lawrence had at the time. I'm the chair of the Performing Arts Department. I was the head of the music performance program for like 11 years. And then just this January 1st, I started as the department chair. And so I had the same position that Morris had.
So we all know what a great job you're doing. What I'm curious about though is, you know, what did you have that first student, that first private student? What did you first do?
Oh, I started teaching at Herb David Guitar Studio on Liberty Street. And Sherry Kane actually got me in there. She took me over to Herb David and introduced me to him and said, Johnny would like to teach here, and I started teaching there. And I was always concerned that my students I might run into a student that could play better than I could, you know. Then what do I do? Luckily, I never ran into that student. So. And so now, you know, so that's how that came about.
I get it. Well, one of the things that probably has happened, I want to know about, what about some of the students that have gone through the program and you run into them years later? What's it like? What's it like?
Yeah, that's a good question. I have some students that have really done some great things, like David Manley went on to play with Jill Scott, and then we have a guy by the name of Jesse McGuire. He wasn't my student, but we were students at WCC at the same time. Played trumpet, and he still plays trumpet all over the world. This guy has a sound that you wouldn't believe. And then I have some students that are going out doing some performing around Detroit area, and I see them on the internet, and I'm so proud of them because they're doing so well, and they're treating us like a business, and that's one of the things that I always want to try to instill in my students. You know, treat it like a business, don't treat it like a hobby. You know, as a matter of fact, I wrote a book called Self-Management for the Working Artist. And it teaches the students how to make a living. And actually, it's a textbook for a class that I developed at WCC. So I've been developing curriculum there ever since I got there 11 years ago. And if somebody, like I said, if somebody had told me that I'd be doing all that right now, I wouldn't have believed them back when I was in high school. You know, it's amazing. You know, people believe in me, or people believed in me, like Morris Lawrence, when I didn't even believe in myself. And they saw something in me that I didn't see. And I really owe a lot to people like Morris Lawrence, John Lockhart, the artists. They took me under their wing and they just kept schooling me and talking to me and said, Johnny, you just keep working. I kept saying, but I don't have no money. They said, don't worry about money. Money's gonna come. You just keep practicing, keep working at what you do. And watch it. There'll be a day when you don't have to worry about paying your bills. You'll make enough money. It'll just come. You know, and when the day came, I didn't even realize it because I was so busy working. So anyway, I want to thank publicly Dr. Morris Lawrence for where I am. You know, without him, I wouldn't be where I am in life. And he's touched a lot of people the same way. You know, and I thought I was special. You know, but I run into people on the street, and they almost have tears in their eyes talking about how much Morris meant to them, you know, and how he touched their lives. And I'm thinking, he's touched thousands of people the same way he touched me. And that's what I'd like to do one day, you know.
They'll remain nameless, but I've encountered a few students that have gone through your program. You gave them a sense of responsibility and business sense that I know they didn't have before they contacted you. So I'm sure you've already helped a lot of young musicians out, because in this world, it's, well, I don't know how you feel about it, but I think it's much harder than when we were growing up.
Oh, yeah.
In terms of trying to become a professional, you know, an artist in general, but certainly a musician. When we're talking about that level, though, I know that you encounter other people that just love music, love jazz, love music, and you teach those people too. And what's that like? And do you have a different approach to that? I mean, what, you know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah. I think I do.
Okay.
If I go off the track, let me know. But I tell you, I've always listened to a lot of different styles of music, and I don't even consider myself a musician that just plays one style. I don't call myself a jazz guitarist. I'm a guitarist that can play jazz. I'm a guitarist that can play country music. I'm a guitarist that can play rock and roll. I can play R&B. To me, it's all a challenge. It's all worth it. It's all necessary because I learned from all the different styles that I play. And so I think, to answer your question, when I see all of the students moving in their own directions and coming to me from different backgrounds, I try to open up their minds and let them know, don't make decisions like, well, I'm only going to play this style of music, or I'm only going to play guitar this way, because you haven't been playing long enough to make those types of decisions yet.
Sure.
You know what I mean? I'm still learning. I'm still practicing. I still practice anywhere from 4 to 8 hours every day. I get up at 4 in the morning, and I put 4 hours in right off the bat before everybody else gets up, you know, before anybody's awake. So I got a head start. Then I put another 2 hours in the afternoon, another 2 hours before I go to sleep. And I'm still learning more and more. Yeah.
That's, that right there is don't, how does that saying go? Don't do what I say, do what I do.
Yeah, there you go.
So you can tell them to go to practice, and if they get any trouble,
Right.
you can show them your schedule.
That's right.
Right?
That's right.
Yes, indeed. Well, you know, the educational area of your life, besides your performance life, most interesting. I don't want to continue on forever because you've got some really special stuff for us. And I believe at this point, we're planning on a solo piece by you. So I'm going to deposit the mic, get off the stage, and let you do that, okay? Let's hear it for you.
What's weird is the last time I had the strap on this guitar, I was a lot thinner.
It used to hang like this. Now, look where it's at now. Yeah, I started lifting weights and stuff, you know, so not all of it's fat, you know, some of it. But anyway, some of it's chest and stuff, but it's weird how this is strong. You mind if I change straps? I can get a strap that works. I mean, it's adjustable. Golly.
John, that's more that working out.
Yeah, that's good working out. Can you grab that bottom of that square? Oh, you hold the guitar. There you go. Oh, you got it? Yeah, you got to turn it a certain angle because it's a special kind of hook on there. There you go. Wow. That was more of an ordeal than I thought it was. But anyway, let's do it right. So I'm adjusting. I got a song I want to play for you. And I always use a strap even when I'm sitting down because it just helps with the balance of the instrument. Hate to see this thing fall.
Yeah, we don't need
Yeah. All right, let's see. I can adjust this one. There we go. I don't feel like I'm looking over it like that. Golly. Anyway, let's see how this one does. drummer. He's gonna sit in with me and play a song with me on mine. So is Yancey here around? How about Racy Biggs? Is he here? Racy's here? Oh, okay.
He's off script. Don't come up here.
So,
There is here.
okay. All right.
But here.
All right, there you go.
Yes, you know, this is part of the program where we like to bring on young talent, student talent. And tonight is no exception. We have a great, I think he's turning into a great young artist. He's from University of Toledo, where I teach. He's one of my students. His name is Ben Maloney. Let's bring him up. John, do you have any words for our student tonight, Ben?
Oh, sounds good, man, sounds good.
We have one closing number and a surprise for you, but Ben has prepared a solo piece, and if you don't mind, and you watch the clock a little bit, we'd like to do that piece.